What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel, Serenity Soul Invictus. Thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks to all of my new subscribers. Thanks and welcome back to my old subscribers. You guys, by the next video, I want to start doing some post notification shout outs to you all. I was going to start today, but I can't remember the names off the top of my head, so I'm going to do that next video. Pinky promise, like. Today, I have seen a lot of questions coming into my inbox and things on Facebook, even on this channel. A lot of people are faced with issues of protection, spiritual protection, and ask me a lot of questions regarding the same thing. So I thought today I would actually do a video talking about something along the same lines. We're going to talk about the difference between binding versus banishing today. And this is along the lines of protection. It's something that you can actively or proactively do in order to rid yourself of some negative influences or attacks that may be coming against you. So at some point in our lives, we are drawn to do either one of these things. Sometimes we may not even be practitioners of magic and we think, oh my God, I wish I could just stop this person from doing this. Yes, you can. You don't have to actually go into an elaborate spell. It is all about your mind. All is mental. Start with that. That's number one. But at some point, we're going to have to get into depth. We have to go a little more intense, deep into this thing to specifically point out who is causing us this harm, who's causing us problems, who's causing us pain in our lives, and do something about it. Actively do something about it. Of course, I always believe the power of Almighty God, because at the end of the day, we have a creator. We have not created ourselves. And so definitely that is your number one go-to in order to do a binding or a banishing against anyone. But at the same time, we don't know exactly who that person is. Sometimes we do know who that person is. And when you do know who that person or those persons are, you can be more deliberate in your intention. So we have a lot of dysfunctional relationships in our lives. This is a crazy world we live in. You know, we have to deal with all these co-workers, bosses, you know, friends, frenemies, past lovers, relationships, all of these kinds of things, not to mention family members and random people who we just meet every day. So at some point, we know all of these relationships are not going to be healthy. A lot of them are going to be toxic or dysfunctional. And we're going to have to do something about it, especially when we see something is causing us pain or chaos or turmoil in our lives. You want to stop it. We are deliberate creators, aren't we? Oh, that's what I call myself, at least. So a lot of the time when we think about a binding, this is a more old school term or old fashioned word because it's something that has come from the past. It's more ancient and primitive. So it was like a coping mechanism for a lot of people in the past, but usually came from a place of resentment, and they just wanted to try and do something about it, but did not really know how. But an attempt at revenge in a sort of manipulative kind of way is a binding. But at the same time, like I said, it is quite different from the other, which is a banishing, which we're going to find out which constitutes which soon in this video. So a binding is something that is done in order to hold something back, in order to stop something from its pursuits against you. So something you would bind would be, let's say, for instance, or you or themselves. Let's say, like, for instance, in the movie The Craft, where Sarah had to do a binding spell against Nancy, against harming other people or harming herself, because at that point she had already gone cuckoo, and Sarah did this out of a place of love. It was always done out of a place of love, which I always want to remind you of whenever you decide to do any magical spell, any ritual, any practice. Do it from a place of love. If you find that you're in a negative, yucky emotional state, that's not the time to do it, because your intentions are going to be wrong. You're going to be giving off negative energy, okay? And that is only going to come back to you like it always does. This is the life, the world we live in, the natural order of things. Karma is real, and things return to us threefold, just like the magical Wiccan creed says. Okay, so harm none, but do as thou wilt. Now, what is a banishing? A banishing, on the other hand, happens from a place of personal willpower, personal strength. It comes when you are actually being more mindful and brutally honest with yourself about the way you feel at that current moment, or the way that things have led up to you feeling at the current moment. Okay? And you know that sometimes to have a more harmonious life, to live more at peace, you're going to have to be present, and you're going to have to face the facts that some things are going to have to be removed fully from your life. The negative influences have to be cut. The cord needs to be cut, severed, and blown away. So as we know, like I said, a binding and a banishing, or a banishing, both need to be done from a place of love, of course, from a place of more positive energy. This is about loving yourself as well as the other person. So the fuel that it takes to do a binding on someone, you have to remember that that is also continuous. That's continuously going to be coming from you. You are the one who's fueling this spell to actually give it power, who's giving it life. Because it is done against another person, you say, okay, well, let's just say, for instance, yeah, like if you were gonna bind someone, right? If you're gonna bind someone, like I said about the craft, let's just say someone binding them against themselves. That's definitely from a place of love. That's definitely from a place of care and concern, you know? But if someone is actually trying to negatively affect your life, or do something against you or another loved one of yours, the energy that is consistently needed to put a stop to this is going to come from you, yourself. And so you have to sit down and contemplate whether this is worth it, whether this is the right thing to even do moving forward. All right? So if you do something from a place of negativity, it's automatically going to be looked at as a curse. It's like you're putting a curse on a person. So you have to remember, do things out of love. And to banish someone, you are not really negatively affecting their free will, such as a binding. A binding, you are actually using your fuel, your willpower, your energy to literally bind them from moving forward with whatever negative intention it is that they have. But to banish someone, you're not using so much of your own free will constantly in the same way. You're removing a source of discomfort, you're removing a source of pain or chaos from your life, and this is what's going to actually keep you energetically safe, okay? And as the person that it's targeted toward is going to be removed, you are free to go on in peace and in love. So it's your responsibility to stay within the light. You know, we talk about the emerald tablets, we talk about all of these things, the book of Thoth, and the light is ever where we are to press toward. All right, we don't want to end up on the dark side. Okay, if there is a source of sickness, source of pain, source of negativity, or abuse of any sort in your life, you can free both you and yourself. You can free both yourself and the other party from it by doing a simple banishing. So cutting the energetic cord between you and it is allowing the other party to make a calm and more sensible choice moving forward. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe it's not worth it for me to cost this girl to lose her job. Maybe I'm going to just go on and do my best so that I don't lose my job and forget about her. Boom. Banishing worked. Because why now? Or maybe she says, you know what? This job was never for me. I'm not going to cause that girl to lose her job. I'm going to go and find another job somewhere else because this is not my cup of tea anyway. I need a job in an office or something like that. And boom, banishing successful. She's gone out of your space, out of your life. And you get to move on with your position peacefully. What you do after that is up to you. So now our emotions, we are going to use as a compass in each or any one of these particular situations. You're going to have to use your emotions to allow you to understand where you're at the moment. All right. And ensuring the well-being of yourself first and foremost, and the well-being of the other. So if it is a hard thing for you to grasp, or a hard thing for you to let go of, the pain that this person has caused you, or the anguish or anger or whatever it is you're going through, take some time before moving forward and deciding which of these methods you're going to use, take some time, chill, try to actually get over it. Try to let time heal you a little bit more before you jump head first into either one, binding or banishing. So if you have decided to do that, which is either one, let's just say you've decided to do a banishing spell, right? The simple method of doing a banishing, I would say, would be something called a banishing breath. This is a very simple and convenient method. You're going to actually, it's not really requiring you to use any utensils, any ingredients, anything. All it needs is your breath, because that is something that we have in common throughout this whole entire universe, this whole world. We have breath. And so even though we may speak different languages, that one thing that is in common that gets taken into the ethers is our breath. So it can be done at any time. Of course, I would say a banishing or a binding is best to do during a waning moon. This is the dark side or dark part of the moon, like where, you know, things go away, the baneful magic. Things go to the dark side, to the other side, the unseen side. It's no longer visible. So you can do it at any time, but I would prefer doing it during the waning moon. What you're going to do is go outside, or if you can't do that, you know, stand in a peaceful, quiet place within your own home or room that you're going to be undisturbed. And barefoot, I like to do certain rituals, of course, you know, what they call it, in my birthday suit. But I'm going to just say, you know, if however, whatever is comfortable for you, you go right ahead. Take a nice cleansing bath. Stand up in that ritual space that you have. If you want to draw a protective circle around you, if you want to call the elements, whatever your choice, you do that. But you're going to stand with your feet rooted deeply in the earth. You call upon the elements, which are earth, air, fire, and water. And if you are familiar with them, become aware of these elements within yourself. Take a few deep breaths and draw into your awareness the energies that you now wish to remove or banish. What is it that you're seeing most or feeling most that is negative, that is actually, could be thoughts, it could be memories, like you're reminiscing consistently about this ex that you may have had like 10, 12 years ago. Like, call whatever it is to your mind. Bring it to the forefront of your mind. Feelings about certain issues. Some of us have a lot of things like daddy issues, all of these things going on. Whatever it is that you're going through, focus on the main, most important thing. Now use your mind to create a mesh. I'm getting tongue-tied. My cup of water is empty. My jug. Oh, I have water. Yay. So yeah, use your mind to imagine a mesh bag, right? And into that mesh bag, place all of these feelings, whatever they are. If you want to envision them as little pebbles, if you want to see them as stones, if you want to see them as crumpled up pieces of paper, whatever you choose, go wild with your imagination. Now, trap them all into that bag. Take it as much time as you need. Do not be rushed. Do not be hurried about this. Take your time. And then, after you've caught them all, what you're going to do is tie up this mesh bag. And then, take another few deep breaths and cast this bag out from your chest area. Just know that it's gone. You could even say it is gone, you know, from my awareness. Regain your mental stability after this. Take some more deep breaths. Large, sharp breaths. And then at the end, you want to do one complete sharp exhalation. As you do this exhalation, you're going to imagine that this bag, the cord that connects this mesh bag to you and your chest area, is being cut. And that bag is being dropped to the earth, okay? With all of its strings falling to the earth, allowing the soil beneath you to swallow up all of the contents of that bag as well as the bag itself, regenerating itself into the earth and its neutral energy within the earth. there you have it. That was a simple banishing spell. You can do that for a lot of different purposes. You can do that for a lot of things that you can even do that for getting rid of issues that deal with someone else in your life. Say it's another loved one that's going through some issues. You can do a banishing to cut the cords from them, but you're imagining that it's being cut from the other person instead of from yourself. That's the beauty of magic. You can actually be as creative as you want to be. As long as you have the right frame of mind, that's what's most important. And remember that threefold law, that whatever you do it from a place of love, lest it comes back to you multiplied. Okay? So you guys, I am going to end this video here because I don't want it to be very long. Thanks for watching. At any point in this video, I hope you hit like. You have hit like. I hope you've hit that subscribe button. If you have not done so, then what are you waiting on? Just get it done now. It's not going to cost you a thing. And until I come back with another great topic, I'm going to say peace and love. Blessed be and namaste. Bye.